think I'm good. How do you do it? All right. Hey, good morning. Um, right. So it's Crystalline here, and I am making sure my mic is on my body so that you can hear me. And I am live today with Jailbreak Your Heart and Howl at the Moon, my regular weekly live stream, regular weekly, every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this live stream is just a way for you to get in touch with the energies that need to be healed right now. So every month, when the sun moves into a new astrological sign, there is a really powerful growth opportunity, manifestation opportunity, but also a really powerful healing opportunity. And so on this weekly live stream, I'm going to be uh, talking to you about those opportunities. And I need to let you know that Jailbreak Your Heart and Howl at the Moon is also the name of a class that I run. It's a year-long class that works with the sun and the moon to help you take advantage of the powerful manifestation opportunities that come up each month and the powerful healing opportunities that go along with them. So right now, it's January 15th. I do believe that today is Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, even though it will be celebrated on Monday, or was it celebrated last Monday? I don't know, but I think today is actually his birthday. Okay, just to say, I don't know what I'm saying. Why am I saying that? Because he's a Capricorn and the sun is in Capricorn. Today is January 15th. Happy birthday, Martin Luther King Jr. And happy birthday to all of us because we are all Capricorn when the sun is in Capricorn. The sun represents our masculine outward authority. It represents how we express ourselves in the material world. So when we are going out into the world and we're doing things, we're interacting with people, we're making decisions, we're using our masculine mind. That's the left brain. We're being logical, rational. A lot of what we're experiencing is because of the sun's influence. So the sun is in Capricorn, which means that at this time, we are more ambitious, we are more focused on our dreams, our desires, our hopes, but also we are more, um, uh, the decisions that we're making right now are going to influence us a year from now. So every year, of course, we're growing, but we're growing under the guidance and the tutelage of the planets, the stars, the moon, right? So right now, the sun is in Capricorn. We're working on our ambitions, our desires, what we want to manifest in the world, what we want to give to the world. Now, this is really important because a lot of us want to give our own business, um, our own, to give a part of ourselves into our life's work. Your life's work is ruled by the zodiac sign of Capricorn. So, what we do now is going to influence our life's work. One of the things that happens with us when we're going to do our life's work is that a lot of us don't follow our life's work. We're held back by doing day to day jobs. We're stuck in survival mode. We're stuck in, we are stuck by things that we think have more power than we do. So what I'm doing in the Jailbreak Your Heart and Howl at the Moon program is I'm helping you to identify what your life's work is, right? But more importantly, because you probably already know what that is, but I'm helping you remove the blockages that are surrounding you so that you can, that they're preventing you from manifesting your life's work. So, the biggest blockage that we experience around our life's work is illegitimacy. Illegitimacy is a weird word to use when you're talking about spiritual healing. We don't use that word very often in spiritual circles. However, when I start to tell you about why and what it means energetically and spiritually, I think it will make a lot of sense to you. So, before I go into that, I just want to let you know that at the end of this broadcast, I'm going to do some readings, energetic readings, spiritual readings, psychic readings, tarot readings for whoever is on the call. And if you want me to do a reading for you, you can put a message into the Instagram feed comments section, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can type it into the YouTube into the YouTubes. You can type it into the YouTube's comment section, and I will get it there. If you're watching on my page on my website, then hop over to the YouTube. Sorry, I need to set up a chat on that page. I will do that next week. But hop onto the YouTube, just hit the YouTube link that's there, watch on YouTube, and then uh, type your question into the YouTube comment section. All right. All right. I think that's clear. So, right. Our issue while the sun is in Capricorn is illegitimacy. Now, like I said, illegitimacy is a weird word. Illegitimate. What does it mean? Like, we used to say that a child whose father doesn't claim them, we used to say that that is an illegitimate child. That is so rude. All right. F y'all. That is rude. Okay. I am an illegitimate child. And what that basically does by calling a child that is it says you are not a part of the law. You are not within the law. So energetically, a child comes into this world and they come in and they're not a part of the law. They've got to, like, we think that children don't feel that stuff, but children, infants, babies are very, very, very in tune with what's going on around them. They feel what's going on. They know what you be saying about them. So don't think that your baby is not intelligent just because they don't articulate it. Energetically, they are really, really strong. And so branding a child with the term illegitimate is like basically saying, you suck. You don't belong in this world. You are not in this world legally, just like we be trying to say about immigrants. Y'all ain't in this country legally. That's the same thing we say to illegitimate babies when we label them that way. So we need to stop doing that. And the reason why this is important is because so many of us behave as if we are illegitimate children of the universe. We act like we don't have a divine father that is taking care of us. So, illegitimacy is one of the worst jailers in the prison of unworthiness. So, just to give you a little bit of background, my whole concept with Jailbreak Your Heart and Howl at the Moon is that your heart is trapped in a prison of unworthiness, and there are 12 jailers. One of the jailers is illegitimacy. And what we do over the course of a year, 12 months, is that we take on one jailer each month, and we do work to recognize where that jailer, for example, illegitimacy, is active in our lives. So where in our lives are we behaving, or do we treat ourselves as if we are the illegitimate bastards of the universe instead of the divine children of a divine father and divine mother, right? Masculine, divine feminine. Where are we acting like we are orphans of the universe and not claiming our divine inheritance, which is number one, worthiness, number two, prosperity, abundance, self-love, um, everything your heart desires. That's your divine inheritance, the ability to manifest in the way that our divine parents manifest. That's our divine inheritance. So during this whole Sun in Capricorn transit, the jailer illegitimacy is coming in and saying, hey, I'm going to keep you in the prison of unworthiness because I'm a jailer. I'm illegitimacy, and I want you to stay here. Our job while the sun is in Capricorn is to stand up to that jailer, to number one, look at ourselves and make it a very fearless self assessment of where we are not in alignment with worth, with our legitimacy, where we are letting illegitimacy rule our lives. So I have a little list. It's not a little list, it's a long list. It's not that long, it's kind of long. I think it's the perfect list because it's like I racked my brain. I wrung my brain out, and this is the list I came up with. It's not that long, but I'm going to tell you what it is because, and I should make it a quiz and be like, hey, are you suffering from illegitimacy? Um, sorry, let me get back on track here. But here are some ways you will know if illegitimacy is functioning in your life. Now, first of all, do you ever feel like you are a fraud? Or do you ever behave like you are a fraud? Like you make choices like, oh, I have my stuff together, I have my act together, right? But actually you don't. You know, like you put on the makeup, you put on the clothes, you make all the nice posts on Facebook and Instagram like, oh yeah, my life is the bomb. But then, back home, you are binging and purging, right? You're binge eating ice cream, then you're barfing because you don't feel safe. You feel vulnerable. You're lying about things. You're being a fraud energetically, or where is it that you want to be really badass. This is another way you know that you're working with illegitimacy. When you want to be a badass, but you aren't willing to actually do the work that makes yourself truly a badass. So it's like you want the fruits of labor, but you don't want to actually do the labor. Like you want to be a master, like, oh yeah, I'm really good at this. I do this, I do that, but you actually don't really study. You didn't do the work. You didn't do the work to get the PhD to learn and dive deeply. You're just staying on the surface of things. It's like, but you want all the power and the glory as if you have done all the work. That's another way of being illegitimate. It's like you're not truly showing up like someone who is a part of the law, who follows the universal laws and is willing to invest themselves, right? So illegitimacy will show you, and particularly during this time, you need to be aware of where you have one foot in something and one foot out, right? So again, if we use this kind of spirituality as an example, we can kind of ask ourselves, well, where is it that I say I'm super spiritual and I love spirituality, but I don't do the meditation? I'm very spiritual and I know that meditation is great for me, but I don't do it. Or, oh yeah, I'm really spiritual, but I'm also going to not do the work to connect with spirit. I don't pray, I don't go in nature, I don't do any of these other things that really actually let me connect to spirit, right? I like to talk about spirituality, but I don't actually like to be responsible to the tenets of spirituality. I don't, whether you, depending on your spirituality, there's certain rules and laws that we really should be respecting, like getting in touch with yourself, listening to your emotions. Oh yeah, I let myself just have my anger and splash it all over the place and let everybody take responsibility for it, but I don't take any responsibility for myself. right? These are kind of all places where we are in bullshit. And people may not call us out on them, but the universe is kind of like watching you. Like, there's certain things, especially now, we like to get rid of rules and act like rules don't apply. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a moon ritual, but I'm gonna have my phone by my side so that, if my friend text messages me, I can stop this moon ritual and check my message. Like, no, you do not treat the moon that way. When you are doing a ritual, you clean yourself beforehand. You have a bath, you have a shower, you know, you get ready for that ritual. You go in silence. You turn off social media. You stop responding to emails. You come to the moon like you're going to come to the moon, like you're coming before the goddess, not like you're coming before some hoe on the street. Don't treat the moon like she's a hoe. You come to spirit with respect. You sit down in meditation. You don't think about your grocery list while you're sitting in meditation. Oh, okay, look, I'm now going off on a tear. Ooh, sorry. Coming back, being calm. I'm cool, right? Not judging, but I am trying to show you where some of these things we let ourselves get away with are kind of like illegitimate half-ass stuff. And this is what Saturn and Capricorn, Sun in Capricorn, new moon in Capricorn, right? This is what the energy is about right now. Saturn and Capricorn are about um, making sure that you are in integrity with the higher laws of the universe, right? So let me now go off on a little bit of a tangent. This is going to be really well explained in my program. So feel free to join my program for free right now, right? January 20th, you'll be paying $444 a month. So if you sign up now, you get the whole year for free. Otherwise, you're going to pay $444 a month. Anyway, with that being said, Saturn and Capricorn, their job is to keep you in integrity. Now, there is a tarot card called the Devil. Now, when you get that card, everybody gets freaked out when they get that card, and damn well you should be, because that card represents your willingness to be shitty with your spirit, your willingness to give yourself away, your willingness to sell yourself cheap, your willingness to be a slave to unworthiness. That is what the devil is all about. So in Jailbreak Your Heart and Howl at the Moon, I teach you how to work with the energy. I teach you about the devil card in tarot and how to use this energy to teach yourself how to not be a prisoner, how to not be a slave to unworthiness, and a slave to addiction, a slave to to television, a slave to thinking small, how to not be a slave, right? Wait, I got to get back. Sorry, coming back to what I'm supposed to be talking about here. This is how you know you're dealing with illegitimacy, right? So I have my list here. By the way, this list is in the program. Okay, you can find this list in the program. It's under the section called Overcoming Illegitimacy, right? A lack of commitment shows where you are suffering from illegitimacy, like you start things and you can't finish, or you won't go into relationships, or you do that 1 foot in and 1 foot out thing in relationship, right? Like, oh yeah, I'm dating this guy, but I'm also going to just keep this other guy on the side. And my old boyfriend that I had before, we still talk, and every once in a while we'll hit it, but we're separated. Like, that 1 foot in and 1 foot out thing is bullshit. Like, that's your inability to commitment and to take responsibility, and that is illegitimate behavior. That's an illegitimate consciousness, because that's what illegitimacy is. It's a consciousness. It's how you live your life. Okay. And you can have just parts of it, but of illegitimacy in you, or you can have a whole consciousness of being illegitimate. And if you have that consciousness, you know what I'm talking about, because these are things that you do. I speak from experience because I acknowledge that I've had an illegitimate consciousness all my life. And one of the hardest things that you're going to do in your lifetime, in this lifetime, is to overcome a consciousness. So it's in your interest to know whether, okay, yes, I have some issues with illegitimacy, or whether, no, I've got an illegitimacy consciousness. I came into this world with an illegitimacy consciousness because I came here to heal my past lives, my future lives, and my ancestral lineage, where we're all dealing with this issue of illegitimacy. It is my role here on earth to correct this, and that's what I'm doing, right? Anyway, getting back, um, an inability to follow through. So if you have a really big dream, like let's say you have a dream to start a business, to be a life coach, to be a healer, to start your own jewelry business, but to really make it thrive. Like if you can't follow through with actually establishing your business, you're probably suffering from illegitimacy in your psyche, because if you are within if you are within the law, then you are going to take the different steps that you need to take in order to be in accordance with the law. But if you feel like you're outside of the law, then your whole psyche, your body, your mind, your spirit, your choices, your decision, it's very difficult for you to align with the law. You don't know how. It feels abhorrent to you. You get confused. You get distracted. The thought of like going into to apply for things feels daunting, heavy. This is all illegitimacy in your system. So you've got to learn how to work with illegitimacy to break yourself free so that you can have the success that you desire and the legitimacy that you deserve. You deserve legitimacy, right? All right. So another way you know whether if you're dealing with illegitimacy is that you allow yourself to fall back on your weaknesses and your old beliefs. So I'm not smart enough. Um, I grew up with parents who didn't teach me about money, so I don't know about money, right? So I get to make mistakes and live in illegitimacy because my parents did this, right? Falling back on your weaknesses, um, not being able to move beyond your weaknesses, not being able to break yourself free. It would be like me consistently staying in the bad choices I used to make because I just can't seem to break free and to move into a more powerful aspect of myself. This is illegitimacy, right? So, like having old emotional wounding, oh, well, when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to express myself. I wasn't allowed to express my feelings. So, I still don't express my feelings, and I'm not doing anything to break that old pattern of behavior. That is definitely a sign of being an illegitimate child of the universe, where you are allowing yourself to be stuck and hindered. If you are the divine child of God and Goddess, why would you let yourself be held back by ideas and thoughts that, yeah, some asshole told you you were not pretty when you were a kid, but why are you listening to an asshole, right? And why are you letting that determine your life today? Talking to myself right now. I'm totally talking to myself right now. It's okay. um, Addiction. Okay. This is not just about drug or alcohol addiction. I'm talking about the addiction you have to thinking negatively, the addiction you have to your limiting beliefs, and your addiction to being in the prison of unworthiness. Because the more you think and behave and keep making the same choices, and the more you like uh, give into unworthiness, the more you fuel your addiction to unworthiness. It's like, oh, I'm a martyr. I'm a martyr. I'm a martyr. I'm a martyr. And you can see this in other people, right? We can especially see martyrdom in other people. where they just are constantly keeping themselves within this kind of codependency, and just constantly keeping themselves in these relationships where they get to martyr themselves. I am saying that that is addiction. You're addicted to being a martyr. You're addicted to this choice of behaviors. And all right, go ahead. If it's serving you, it's obviously serving you. Your job is to figure out how it's serving you, right? Um, Also, okay, now look how much time has gone by. All right, I'm gonna go quick. Not having tenacity and grit also shows that you it shows that you have illegitimacy in your life, because the divine in you means that you can go, you can sustain, you can go for the long haul, you can run that marathon, right? But if at mile 22 you're petering out and you're about ready to give up, you got to go back to your training. Okay, did you do the training like you were supposed to, or did you keep giving up every day, or cheating on your runs, not really going as far or working as hard as your coach and the program recommends that you do. All these things show you how you aren't being in full integrity with your magnificence, whether it's in the race of the marathon or whether it's in the training and preparation for the marathon. That's how you know and come to recognize the role that illegitimacy is playing in your life, right? All right, so this list can go on for like ever. And what I want to do um, is give you just a few tips to help you overcome illegitimacy, and then I'm going to start our readings for today. Okay, so I've gotten 3 readings. I think, yeah, I've gotten 3 readings by mail, and then I'm going to do readings for people who are live. And actually, I'm going to do the readings for the people who are live first, and then I'm going to do the ones that came in through mail. Okay. So, my friends, um, tips to overcoming illegitimacy. First of all, you have to identify where you're dealing with illegitimacy, right? You need to write it down, and then you need to make a decision to stop doing what you're doing. Okay. In my mind, you write it down, then you have to see that, this is detrimental to me. And then you have to stop. It's that simple. Stop. Now, it's not that simple, is it? Because if you could just stop and do it right, you probably would have just stopped, and you would have been doing it right a long time ago. The reason why you're not doing it right is probably because there's some kind of emotional wounding that is happening within you that is preventing you from working with legitimacy. Um, that's perfectly fine. Your job is to do the work to help you repair your emotional wounds. Now, this is how I work with my emotional wounds when they come up. Number one, I meditate every day and I talk to spirit every day. When I have pain or a problem, I talk to spirit about it. I write it down in my journal, and I use my tarot cards to help me see myself, to help show me my blind spots, all these kinds of things, right? So that's what I recommend that you do. Sit down, meditate. When a problem comes up, so let's say, for example, you noticed that you had, um, oh my God, why am I not able to think of something? Give me a scenario. Give me a good scenario. Okay, I will just use, I have so many floating in my head. This is the problem. There's so many scenarios of illegitimacy floating in my head that I can't just choose one. Oh, okay. So for all my life, I'm so sorry. I use this all the time. I would love to give you a different one, but it's always the thing that jumps into the front of my mind. But I've been dealing with um, overeating all my life, right? It's never been in balance, and I used to deal with it by dealing with by dieting and exercise, right? So I've been able to keep my weight in a decent level, but dieting is not really the right way to handle it because I've never dealt with the wounding. It's just like putting a Band-Aid on a wound, right? And exercise, it's the same thing for me. Yes, I need to eat right and I need to exercise right, but it doesn't change the fact that my inner child has emotional needs that in the past I've not been listening to. So that's why I would overeat. Okay, so what you do is you identify what the problem is. I like to write it in my journal, and then I like to sit and meditate on why I'm doing what I'm doing. Why am I binge eating? Why am I blah blah blah? Write down those whatever information comes up for you, whatever your spirit says, write it down. And then I like to say, okay, well, I desire to, and then you write down what it is you desire. Now you have to be careful because you have to make sure that what you desire is integrity within the thing, not just the outcome. So, yes, the outcome is super important, but what happens is we tend to focus on the outcome we want and we spiritually bypass the actual emotional wound that is causing us to move away from the outcome we desire. So for example, if I'm overeating and gaining weight and I say, well, I really want to be thin and I focus on being thin, then of course the impulse is to go toward dieting, exercise, counting calories, all these things that go into being thin, wearing Spanx and toning my tummy, all those things are valid. However, there's a reason why you're overeating. So when you're looking at your reasons why and what it is you actually desire, you have to go toward the thing that is actually the root cause of the issue. This is so important. The root cause of the issue is going to tell you what it is that you need to cure so that you don't have to diet or exercise, right? Because dieting and exercise wouldn't be necessary if you naturally ate what your body needs in the amount that your body needed it, right? So if your body needs only 1,800 calories a day, then you would only eat 1,800 calories a day because you are in harmony emotionally, and your food choices are going to reflect that emotional harmony. So that's why you have to go for not the outcome you desire, but the income. Does that make sense? Actually, that's weird. You don't need to focus on the outcome, but you want to focus on the internal feeling that you have. The interior needs is what I'm trying to say. The interior needs. Okay. All right. So, then after you've done that, you really need to then take action to correct the thing that is bugging you, to correct the illegitimacy, to correct the pain, the emotional need, the thing that is stopping you from manifesting a healthy inner life, from experiencing inner wellness and balance spiritually. All right. So look, I'm going to stop right here and I'm going to do readings. So I'm going to hop onto YouTube. Okay, I've got no questions on I've got no questions on YouTube. And I've got no reading requests on Instagram. So I'm going to hop into the reading requests that I got in my mail. Uh-oh. Open, please. Oh, here you are. You are open over here. All right. So I've got a request from Anne. And by the way, if you don't want me to say your name when I'm doing these readings, you need to sign your email or your message with the name you want me to call you by, right? Just in case you want a little privacy there, I'm willing to give it, but you got to tell me, all right? So first message is coming from Anne, and she asks, is there a healthy, honest love relationship coming in the near future for me? Oh, I certainly hope so, Anne. I certainly hope so. So let's take a look here. Ooh, let's go with, okay, we're going to go with Psychic Tarot. Yeah. And this is from John Holland. By the way, I love the Psychic Tarot deck. It's not your typical tarot deck, but yeah, it's a great deck. Anyway, so for Anne, she's looking for she's got really nice words, a healthy, honest love relationship. I see something coming in already. Sacral chakra. So it seems to me, Anne, that you need to do some work around your sacral chakra. And this is so interesting because when I was tuning in here, I got this message of you are afraid to ask for what you want. And this sacral chakra card basically is illuminating your sacral chakra, duh, but also how you desire, your ability to, the message I'm getting is that you are struggling to actually really claim from your place of desire what it is that you actually desire. So the thing I recommend is that you tune into your sacral chakra, which is located in your lower abdomen, and you do some work to warm that area. It's creative, so painting, cooking, um, doing some things with the color orange, wearing the color orange, eating oranges, eating sweet potatoes, feeding and nurturing your sacral chakra with your relationships. And then you need to start understanding that you can ask for what you desire. I like the words that you have here. Is there a healthy, honest love relationship coming in for you next year? The thing that you've left out of this that's coming up for me that needs to be said is sex, passion, fire, connection, intimacy, and grit and tenacity. Yeah, that's what's coming in for me. So that's the message for you. And I'm going to take another card because I feel called to, and to get a yes or no for you, right? So that's what you need to do. What I've just said is what you need to work on. But here's the answer about coming in this year. This is what Spirit says. Is it coming this year? Oh, this is interesting. You've got this Six of Swords, which basically is saying, yeah, like you're moving on definitely to a better time and a more fulfilled experience, but it's going to be a journey. You probably have a lot of work to do around what I just said earlier, around that sacral chakra. And then you should expect to move on to a much more exciting time. Now, I think that what I need to probably say, there are a couple of things that are actually coming up for me right now. In June, there might be an opportunity for you. Okay. Hold on. Look at that card again. Oh, yes, from spring until June. Yes, from spring until June, you should really expect for things to start kicking up, and then you'll be really well into that journey. So this is very affirmative. I think this is a good year for you, Anne. All right. Next question is coming from KGLB. Sent me this message on Instagram this morning and said, okay, she's going to try to join, but she's going to be at work. For today's Jailbreak Your Heart, can you please do a reading for me? Years ago, you said this would be a great year for me. I've been doing some work, as you mentioned last year. I would like to know what's coming up for me. And am I with the man I'm supposed to be with? I love that. I love that years ago I predicted this would be a great year. I love making predictions, and I love seeing them come to fruition. Let's see what Spirit says about this being a great, like what's coming in for you this year. What's coming up for KGLB? Thank you. Ooh, wow, this is a nice card. It's the authority card. Authority. And it basically says, it says masculine power, like a power in the world, the ability to do what you desire, the ability to, whatever you say goes, like whatever you say goes, whatever you want for yourself. Yeah, make that happen. You can do it. It's about taking responsibility for what it is you desire and going for it. It's about having wisdom, strength, power. Like whatever you've been working on, you should expect great authority this year. This is the number 4 card. This is the number 4 year. This is a 4 year. So I would say very much that you should expect good things to come this year. Now, I would need to know more specifics about what it is you are looking for. You can always book in, by the way, you can always book in a reading with me on my website, crystallinbell.com or badassbutterfly.com. Ah, yes, badass butterfly. That is me. Love it. Okay, boom. Now let's talk about Terrance. Ooh, let's get something romantic. Let's go into shadowscapes. Okay, KGLB and Terrance. Ooh, okay. So okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, as I'm as I have to be. Um, Terrance might be a little bit of a burden. I'm sorry, but it's the 10 of Wands, And 10 of Wands is, oh, let me show you the card. It shows a woman. I don't know if you can see it. It might be too much light. It shows a woman, um, and she's like a tree, and she's very strong, but she's bent over, right? So instead of being straight up, she's bent over, right? Instead of being straight, she's bent, and she's got a whole village on her back. Now, this woman is smiling, you know, but the fact is, she is carrying all the weight on her back, and everybody's just living off of her. And on one hand, there are times when you have to be this woman, right? There are times when I do this. There are times when we all do this. We are carrying more than our load, and it's not a bad thing. It's just that it's a lot for us, and it's not necessarily just. It's not necessarily fair, and it's not necessarily benefiting um, everybody. You know, it's just not. So I recommend. So I would say if this is the card I had pulled about my relationship, I would look at where there are issues in that relationship and why I'm asking about, am I with the man I'm supposed to be with? Why the universe is telling me you got a big burden to carry. All right. If you want to know more about that, you just send me a message and we will do a reading, or you can go on and book yourself in for a reading. You don't need me to do it. You can do it yourself. My schedule's all on my website. All right. All right, KGLB. Um last reading. Let me double check and see if you want a reading, please put your question into the comments section on YouTube or on Instagram. All right. Right. So there is a message from Carolina. Carolina, it's so nice to actually hear from you. It's so nice to see your name in my inbox this morning. I remember that you're a Capricorn and your birthday is coming up on the 18th. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Um, she also wants to know if she's going to be in a committed, romantic, serious relationship. Let's see what the news is for Carolina. Everybody's asking about romance today. I kind of think that all these readings apply to all of us. We probably all need to pay attention to our sacral chakra. We probably all need to question, whether our potential love interests are a burden or not, and how we're treating ourselves. This also comes back to that, with that idea of the Ten of Wands, like taking on too much responsibility and maybe carrying too much of a load, but also how we care for ourselves while we're doing that. Are we getting our emotional needs met? Are we eating right? Are we getting enough rest? Are we getting enough pleasure and joy so that we can bear our burdens with more joy and appreciation? Something to think about. All right, for Carolina, does she have serious committed romantic serious relationship this year? Ooh, universe says, yeah, if you manifest it. So for me, this seems like it's a really good time. You've gotten the Magician, and the thing that's coming to me as I look at this very beautiful card is for you to understand that you have the power within you to manifest whatever your heart desires. Okay. And if you desire something, you have to go for it. You have to take action on it. So I want to say you've got two answers, yes and no. If you go for something, and then I would say the answer is yes. Go online, go out, meet people, see someone you like, and go for it. You're a beautiful woman, Carolina, go for it. If you don't do anything, you might not feel the reward as much. The card is the Magician, which is about being active and doing things and kind of like having an active role in the manifestation. It doesn't mean you have to go out, but you have to at least be doing the inner work of conjuring and connecting. And, let's say that you don't want to go out of your house, but you want to meet a man anyway, right? Or a woman. Um, you can have it. Maybe you need to do a little more inner work though. So maybe you need to um, find your passion and manifest from that in that magical way. That's what magic is, right? This is the magician card. It's about taking the different elements from the universe and putting them together to create the thing it is that you desire. And so I'm saying that you can go out into the world, and we all need to do the inner work anyway. We all need to start inside, but then you can go out into the world and go out and meet people, go online, go on dates, go out with your friends, do fun things, go to where the men are, have that kind of fun. But you can also stay at home and conjure, and he'll come knocking on your door. All right. Which would probably freak me out. I wouldn't be comfortable with somebody just coming up and knocking on my door. But if I opened that door and he was handsome, I would consider it. All right. So, boom, that's it for the Jailbreak Your Heart and Howl at the Moon live stream for this week. Again, you can join my class for free until January 20th. After that, it's going to be $444 a month, right? This is not a cheap program. It is a very engaging program, and there is coaching for you and all sorts of tools and materials to help you thrive. So if you want to join for free, hey, for a year, you get the program for free. You can do that, but you got to sign up before January 20th. On January 20th, the sun moves into Aquarius, which is my sign, and we're going to be celebrating. Anyway, looking forward to seeing you like in the higher realms. All right, signing off for now. Bye. Okay, now I need to figure out um how to find my thing. Okay, here it is. Now I'm ready. Bye.